Welcome. I know it's been so long, but welcome back to the Avid Dreams Podcast. I am your host, JASHAR. This is my awesome sister, bestie, homie, co-host, Chanel.
Hey, it's been a minute.
Why a month? First off, I want to get into a little bit of why we've been gone. It's all my fault. Don't attack Chanel in the comments. I know how y'all be hating her sometimes. No, I was joking. Let's get back to it. The big reason why we have stopped is I took this job where I was working 6 days a week. Mandatory overtime, which means I had like 1 day to get everything done. And that would include podcasts, laundry, car maintenance, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Any type of errands that I had to get done, I had to get it done on the same day. And then eventually the podcast just wound up being too much. So it's my fault. I'm so sorry, guys. But we're back. And we're in a new room now. I mean, I know you guys like the orange. So we brought back the orange. We put it in a new room. So we got, a little more space, like with better chairs and stuff. So we're a little more comfortable. So we can get right into it. You know what I'm saying? How have you been, Chanel?
I've been good. Just been working, missing traveling, spending time with family. Just, living quarantine life basically. Like I've been getting out a little bit more downtown, like more local, I would say. And it's been pretty sweet because downtown Detroit, I've talked to you about this before, like it's just on a complete come up. And I didn't know all of that stuff was happening, and I was dating somebody who lived down there, and just seeing all of that was just crazy. Like spending time down there was like, it kind of gave me a little bit more faith into Detroit and stuff. So I guess that's where I was spending a lot of my time during this whole break. So but yeah, I'm like glad to be back or whatever. Like JASHAR said, like we're in this new room. One of the greatest perks about this room is that we don't have to worry about any sound really, because there's not anybody around us in this room. Like this room is like the room in the house where we don't have anybody except maybe JASHAR's room over here.
Yeah, we don't have it to worry about like anything like acoustics, because we had like the high ceilings in the other room, because we have the orange room also in our living room. So like it's got the real high ceilings in there, and you got to deal with echoes and trying to deal with voice modification and voice editing and all that type of stuff. But it should be a little bit easier to do that in here.
Yeah. And then as an added thing, like what we've been talking about previously on other podcasts, where we legit like had this like in our living room, and we were waiting for our living room to be finished, and now it's like finished. So it's like now, like if we had the podcast running in there, it would just throw off the feng shui. If that's how you say it. I always struggle with saying that word, but feng shui. It would throw off like basically the vibes in the living room. So the living room was all set, like looks amazing, looks dope. So we were like, let's use the other bedroom, let's just do that.
Yeah, and another thing about using the living room is that it was a big problem, because like we got like studio lights in here, to make sure like the lighting looks correct for each episode.
Yeah. And
we had to take the studio lights in and out of the living room every time, and I was just like, this is taxing. So
it's not sustainable.
But we had already gotten this new apartment, and we were planning on using this room, for basically entertainment purposes, like shooting photography, and which we have done in here.
Yeah, videos
and all that type of stuff.
Basically like office work, JASHAR's music work, stuff I have going on with my clothing label, like everything just can happen in here. And then we're still working on getting it together. You guys see kind of like the put together part. Me and JASHAR are seeing how much work we still need to do in this room, but it's coming together and it's gonna be something dope.
Right. And what's perfect about this one is that we can shoot against this wall, or we can shoot against the regular white wall right over here.
Yeah.
So everything's real nice coming together. But another thing, I want to give you guys an update on the music. Nothing's coming anytime soon right now. I'm just working on producing.
Just working on
producing right now. There's I need like a lot of money to move forward with any type of music right now. And right now I just want to dedicate the money in different places, like making sure like the daycare is taken care of for the babies, and you know, make sure bills are paid and all that stuff. But you know, not saying that I'm retiring, I'm just taking a little bit of a break right now.
Yep, much needed, much needed. I think this last year was very helpful to everybody with connecting back to themselves with whatever situation they were in before, and understanding if something is not a good situation for you, if you need a better, different environment. And like, if you're like me, like within the past year with quarantine, like I started learning a lot more I started spending a lot more time on myself, right? JASHAR became a dad. So obviously that was his number one priority, was the baby. So a lot of time I had to spend by myself and really getting to learn myself and learn what I liked and disliked. And you know, you start liking yourself the more, or you should hopefully start liking yourself a little bit more when you like are hanging with yourself a lot more, like just by yourself. And so I think a lot of people went through that this past year, like with self-exploration. You know, you went through your big milestone with having children, and everybody just got kind of acclimated. So I think like a little hiatus was like healthy for us, you know.
It was a little healthy.
Yeah, so.
But right now we in the position to go hard than the motherfucker.
Yeah,
we back. We going hard. So this isn't just like one of those random episodes where we just put it out and then wait a couple more months and then put out another one. Like we back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That being said, let's get into the topics now that we've done the whole intro. You know what I'm saying? First thing I want to talk about is new music that we're excited about.
Right.
There was a lot of stuff that just dropped this past Friday.
Week was ridiculous.
Yesterday, because today's Saturday. Just had a lot of new music drop. Migos drop. A Boogie with the Hoogie drop. J. Cole drop. Nicki Minaj drop. There's a whole lot of new stuff that just dropped. And to be honest with you, I've listened to all of it. And I'm only really excited about two things.
J. Cole and who?
Nicki.
Yo. Yo. No, like when Nicki was starting dropping new pictures, I knew what it was. I was like, oh, she about to, like, I've already been like, kind of like, oh, okay, you know, we got our female rappers now. As soon as she started dropping pictures, I was like, oh, it's on. I didn't know yet until, what, Thursday night? I gotta say, I'm excited too. Even though it's her another mixtape drop, right? Like her old mixtape is 12-year anniversary.
Yeah, it was like her first major mixtape.
Yeah, like, and that was the one that I think everybody started being like, yo, who is this? You know, type of mixtape. And like everybody, you know, millennials growing up, that was like the like song. Like she had so many anthems for like all of the girls that were, you know, in their later teens at the time. So like to hear this coming out was nostalgia. And then she dropped. Right?
What did she drop?
5 more tracks.
What did she drop?
She dropped 5 more tracks.
5 more tracks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
As she should. And she got one track. Like when she went live, she had Drake on there too. When she was pulling Drake in, I'm in my bed like touching Drake, like Drake, what again?
I was like, Champagne Poppy?
Yes.
She's like, yes,
ma'am.
Champagne Poppy.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, honey. Yes. And when he showed up, I was like, okay. And then like she said one song that Drake sent her, but I didn't think he said, like she was saying he sent her that because I thought he sent it to her because that was about to be a track that he wanted to give to her. But I didn't know like they was gonna be on it. That was the biggest surprise. So, you know, even if you haven't heard the album yet, you might have heard from word of mouth that Drake and Wayne on it.
Yeah. What's the song? Was Screaming Greens? Green Dreams?
I thought
Green Dreams?
I got the album right here, man.
I downloaded it.
It is Seeing Green.
Seeing Green.
She got Seeing Green, Fractions, Crocodile Teeth.
Crocodile Teeth.
Was that on there? I think Chirac was old, wasn't it?
Chirac was old. Crocodile Teeth.
But yeah, she got some new stuff on here for everybody, and honestly, like, I just wanted her to redrop Itty Bitty Piggy because I don't even think he had access to that on Apple Music before.
No.
But regardless, I'm happy. Like when I heard she was putting out the mixtape, I was like, okay, you know, that's dope. But I'm like, okay, I thought she was coming back with some new stuff, and then she was like, I dropped some new songs for it. I was like, okay, then she might be back, like back, not like retiring. Like I'm coming out to give you like say Jay-Z about to like drop an old album that was like popular before, but he only did it for an anniversary type thing. Mm-hmm. So I was super excited to see she put new songs out. She's consistently staying on Instagram, like posting stuff. So I'm like, okay, we might be getting Nicki back. Mm-hmm. So I'm geeked.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer or anything.
I understand what you're gonna say, but
I want her to come back with some heat.
Yeah.
Cause that last album was mid.
That happens though.
It does happen.
I don't know any rapper that has put out a couple of good albums, because that's what they have to do to retain an audience. Right? 1, 2, maybe like sometimes 2 is when it stops and the rest of it starts getting a little bit more mid. Mm-hmm. But once you establish that fan base, they establish, they start maintaining a loyalty to you. So that even if your shit is mid, or even if your shit is trash, Kanye, then people are gonna still stay around you and keep listening to you. They're gonna stay around and still be an audience, still feeding you concert sales, all of that. Like they're gonna stay with you. So I think it's like a normal thing, but she said she went through a writer's block. Drake helped her out of it. So we might be on the bigger and better things now, because she's, her and Drake been in discussion.
Is she gonna be on Certified Lover Boy?
I hope so. But you feel me though? Like I feel like some people get, kind of, I feel like that's happened with every rapper. Because they have shit to say about Kingdom Come.
No, here's the thing. Like I understand like putting out a mid project every once in a while. That's fine. J. Cole has done it. What was that? For Your Eyes Only? That album was mid to like the most, J. Cole population. But the problem lies is how she reacted after it didn't go the way she wanted it to go. That's what I had a problem with. It's okay you put out a mid project, but you don't go around, saying that the dude who was number 1 is a bitch ass nigga and start dogging his family and stuff because you didn't go number 1. I ain't cool with that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying, put out some fire stuff and then keep the attitude. Till then, it's a waiting game.
I feel you. I feel like you kind of like lingering on that more so than you like Kanye. Like if Kanye did that, you'd be like, oh.
Oh, I feel the same way about Kanye.
You would roast him too?
Yeah, I feel the same way
I just want to make sure.
Ever since like the whole last couple stuff that he's been going through, and he put out the whole gospel album and that type of shit, I have not been actively listening to Kanye West. I'm just like, bro.
I think one of them is that people's real perception of him right now is negative.
True.
But also the other side is that it's been mid.
It's been mid.
So I get what you mean. I just wanted to make sure we were like staying like on.
Oh, I was talking about like genders and all that type of stuff?
No, just different artists.
Oh, different artists? Oh, okay.
Because I feel like this is why I brought Kanye up specifically, is because he does so much dumb shit that I feel like this one thing would be something that you didn't talk about because it wasn't as huge as something else he did.
No.
But Nicki doesn't show out on.
Kanye can get it too.
She had the whole thing with Cardi, but I get what you're saying. I just wanted to make sure we was being fair. Mm-hmm. But I feel you.
True, Drake is my favorite artist. He put out some mid stuff every once in a while. Yeah. The last Scary Hours project, that was like 3 songs. That was not mid though.
Yeah.
That was fire.
Yeah.
Another one who put out some super fire shit, J. Cole.
You heard that.
That new album.
I've heard there's been mixed reviews. It hurts some people who just like, like this shit cold, like, and then there's other people who are just like,
See, I feel like his stuff obviously doesn't sound like everything that's hot today. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got his own unique sound. He's got some tracks on there that sound like he, maybe took a 90s style beat and kind of updated it for today's standards. He's got I think he's got a couple tracks on there like that. But this dude was rapping his ass off. Like somebody came out and said, yo, I listened to this and like, who hurt you? he was rapping like he was coming for next. And this is the type of J. Cole that I like to hear.
He was coming for what?
Next.
Oh. Well, I mean, I'm gonna have to listen to it. I haven't tried to listen to it. I feel like I was a bigger J. Cole fan when I was younger.
Yeah. It's cold. He got some tracks on there. Hunger on Hillside. That boy is fire. Let me bring up the playlist that I got for so far. 100 Mil. I was talking with Lloyd. He said that sounds like, a radio hit. Let Go My Hands got that old school feel to it with the new school flow. I rock with that. Amari.
Baby on it?
Huh?
Lil Baby's on it?
Lil Baby's on the Pride.
I heard wait a minute.
Lil Baby's on Pride is the Devil.
I heard he was good on that.
Yeah, he was good on that. Not as good as how he was on Drake's track, but like he went in. He did his thing.
Yeah.
But he's got this song called Amari that was produced by Timbaland on there, which is dope. But I noticed that they use like the same sample that Tory Lanez used on another song that he put out, I think last year. Mm-hmm. And it's wild how vastly different the two songs sound. But J. Cole, he did his thing. He went in. It was definitely well worth the wait.
I think he's a great rapper. I'm just a little over him, to be honest. I think I've been over him for years, and that's not to dismiss him or anything. I think he's an amazing rapper. I think I like a little bit more engagement with my artists, like the artists I'm into.
Engagement?
Yeah.
Is it like social media?
Not only just social media, just with appearances and stuff like that. Like
Chanel's iPhone and JASHAR Crystal.
And with like not just social media, but like just being able to see them a lot and just being able to connect with them and getting excited and seeing the marketing and everything behind it. Like yes, I will admit I am attracted to the flash. I am attracted to being able to see the artists and seeing them flex, and I like to have stuff to look up to be honest with you. I don't really feel like that with other artists. Like at the end of the day, if you're making music, technically, I mean, you do have some people who are more so just artists and music instead of just being an entertainer. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I guess I'm just the type who, if I have an artist that I'm into, I want more engagement, and also like I don't connect to his music like that.
I can understand the whole engagement thing because he will drop an album and just walk away.
Yeah, and I'm not really with it. And like I said, this is no disrespect to him at all, because I think he's an amazing artist. I just like more engagement out of the people that I'm into, like people I listen to, and yeah, like, and I like to see that they're consistently like putting stuff out. Like I'm not about to feed you shit. You're not gonna entertain me. I'm not gonna buy your album and you just drop 5 years later. I know it wasn't 5 years.
All right.
And then you just like, peace out, there you go. Like, bitch, dance.
Don't disrespect.
Dance on the stage so I'll be entertained.
We want more music videos.
Yes.
That type of stuff.
Yes. Like, I need more out of you. And you just coming to collect, like, I just feel like you coming in to collect money for a bill. Like, cause your last album, so sales money ran out. Now you're just like, oh, let me just drop an album so I just buy this shit. That's disrespectful. Get on the stage and dance, boy. But for real, like, I just want more out of it. So
she will.
I don't have any hate against him. I know it sounds like I'm super like flip-flopping. Like, I think he's a great rapper. He's not my type of rapper.
Okay. But yeah, listen to Motorboat by Tory Lanez and then Amari by J. Cole. Those samples. They sound really good.
Is that the one you tagged me in the Motorboat?
Probably. I probably tagged you on there at some point.
No,
that was a different song.
Okay.
That was a different song.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm not about to get myself in trouble.
Yeah, we can't be talking about Tory right now and how dope of an artist and rapper and singer he is. We're not going to talk about that.
Oh, no, man.
We're not going to get it.
Huh? Anyway. Drag me in the comments. Anyway.
Come for me. I come back.
Guys, I have time this weekend.
Marvel. Since we've been gone, there's been like a couple of Marvel TV shows that have been dropping on Disney Plus.
Absolutely.
Wandavision being one of them, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier being the second. And I wanted to ask you, in particular, how you feel about it.
About them dropping TV shows?
No, about the shows in general.
So, I loved WandaVision and liked The Winter Soldier and Falcon.
Okay.
WandaVision was really slow at the beginning, as everybody knows.
Yep.
And if you're an avid fan, you just kept watching, and then you were rewarded for that.
You gotta sit
You
through
were
it.
very much rewarded for that. And I'm excited to see what she does next because it looks like she's giving off villainous vibes when it ends.
Yes.
Which I'm all for. It's giving Phoenix. It's giving Dark Phoenix vibes. But I'm excited to see what they do with that. And then with the Winter Soldier and the Falcon, obviously, if you've already seen it, if you didn't see it already and I'm spoiling it, you're really late. I'm gonna do it anyways. So the black.
It's been like a month.
Yeah, like.
Give it.
So our camera kind of shut off, but we had to kind of switch equipment that we were using. So sorry if there's a change in the quality. But yeah, like I was talking about with Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter Soldier, they switched to the Black Captain America, and one thing that I did like is that they did talk about his struggle with being the Black Captain America and what that means and what's around it and what he had to deal with from other people in the Black community and all that stuff. So I appreciated that. Were we supposed to get a segue from that? Like, what movie is he gonna be in next?
He's supposed to be in Captain America 4 because he's the new Captain America.
Okay, so yeah, they did. They what do you call it? Announced it after. And then
The new suit is dope. Huge fan of that. The new suits that they've been dropping for these Disney Plus shows.
Yeah.
Super dope.
Yeah.
But I think I'm with you with the whole Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Like liking it, but I love it.
Yeah.
You know what one of the big things that kind of ruined it for me was, and not to be a hater or anything, but it was the leader of technically the group they were against the whole show. She just didn't do it for me. I felt like I was watching Alyssa from Zoom on PBS.
Oh yeah. You talking about the villain?
Yeah, man. And then somebody was talking about her being on Star Wars before, and they were like, Disney made a second mistake casting her in the villain role or something.
Yeah.
But I just didn't get. I didn't get the vibes. Like to be honest, I like being afraid of my villains.
Yeah, she wasn't very scary at all.
I have to be afraid of my villains. That's why the first, which we didn't put on this list, that's why the first Steppenwolf on Whedon's Justice League wasn't doing it for me, and that's another reason why the movie sucked. I wasn't scared of it.
True. Zack Snyder's Justice League. Go watch that.
Wow.
Go watch that. Watch it in 4K. Go watch that.
Yep.
That movie is fire. I didn't know that Justice League could be that good based on what we originally got.
Right, and me and JASHAR be going up against each other, talking Marvel, DC, and Batman is my all-time favorite superhero. I never had anything against DC. I had shit against the DC movies.
Mm-hmm.
And to see that this was rightfully done and that they're able to rightfully do it and that now we're not getting anything else of that quality makes me, I'm like kind of back at square one. But this is the first DC comic movie I've seen in a while where I've seen it like multiple times.
Yeah.
Because usually it's a one and done for me. Sometimes half and done.
Yeah.
So.
Right, you talking about Wonder Woman 84?
Wonder Woman 84, you should saw how many times I looked over at JASHAR and I was like, literally like with the face like, why you gotta be watching this? And he was laughing like, but it was just not good.
It wasn't great.
It was terrible. But you liked it? Are you excited for Doctor Strange?
Very excited. After watching Wandavision, that got me really, really hype about what's happening with the new Doctor Strange movie.
Yep.
I was just watching like the last episode we did of the podcast.
Yeah.
And we were talking about, hey, we haven't gotten like a new Spider-Man trailer for the movie that's now dropping at the end of this year. And as of this time, was this May? We still haven't gotten any type of teaser or trailer about what's happening with that video. So they better deliver after waiting this long. They better deliver. I want my Tobey Maguire. I want my Andrew Garfield. I want all of them in this movie. And this movie better be fire. We don't waited too long for getting no information. We got a Venom 2 trailer, which looks straight, but it's gonna be PG-13. It's not gonna be rated R. We're not gonna see Venom biting off heads and shit. We're not gonna see that. So I'm just kind of mad about that movie right now.
You mean with Carnage?
Yes.
I didn't know.
It's gonna be PG-13,
Why?
just like the first one.
Sony's doing it?
Sony is doing this. We got that. We got the MCU who released like, hey, we got a bunch of movies coming, which they've been doing for like the past 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Since we didn't get anything last year, so they trying to keep us re-excited about stuff that never dropped. So that came. So, but Spider-Man is, they better deliver.
The reason I'm most upset is that I know how much satisfaction I get out of watching those movies, and for them not to just keep delivering the same level of quality that I'm spoiled with Marvel, like it's really disappointing. I'm gonna keep it honest with you, like that, like those are the only movies that I like look forward to these days. I don't have any other movies I look forward to like I used to. Like it's not been a lot actually in the past 10 years. I've been like, oh man, I can afford seeing that, except like maybe Wolf of Wall Street or Inception or anything with Leonardo DiCaprio in it. But,
Christopher Nolan films.
Yeah, Christopher Nolan films. It's like it kind of sucks because I like watching movies and I like having movies to go back to. But like if they're gonna keep doing this, like it pisses me off because they can see which ones peak in sales and peak in like just watchability and people continuously coming back to it in you know being invested in the storyline. And it's like they see that, but they're like, nah. Like what? Like you're like
doesn't make any sense.
I feel like movie companies are like the most greediest. Like they always put out like shit movies all the time anyways. Like you guys just do a lot of money grabs a lot of times. And yeah, you have this like blatant and obvious and easy, like not easy as in like putting it together because I get that it's a lot of work.
Right.
But you have something that you know is gonna make bank. But you're denying doing it. Like it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Like you saw even the new Justice League come out. Like I didn't know that. I'm just reacting after you saying that Venom is PG-13. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. Knowing Venom, knowing Carnage, like it just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
And it doesn't make sense to ever see what's his name in a PG-13 movie. To be honest with you, Bane, whatever his name is.
Bane?
His real life name.
Tom Hardy?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to see Tom Hardy in a PG-13 movie. It's like seeing Colin Farrell in a PG-13 movie.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he's supposed to be Penguin in the new Batman movie.
Yeah, I heard about that. We'll see.
Robert Pattinson movie that's been pushed till next year.
My mind was automatically just turned off when you said he's supposed to play Penguin. Immediately, like that dude popped up who plays Lex Luthor in Justice League, and I was like, that sounds like bad casting. Automatically.
I guess we gonna see. We gonna see because he looks pretty good. He gained some weight for the role and all that.
I know. Yeah, we'll see. I hope. But yeah, so like with us taking a hiatus, I'm glad we're able to talk about all of this too. And I feel like a lot of people are taking hiatus, or there's been some kind of like wrenches thrown in getting everybody's podcast running smoothly and on time and like scheduled, and you know everybody's there who needs to be there. Which leads me to a recent development.
Smuggler.
A recent development with Joe Budden Podcast. And there's been a lot of animosity around that because for a second, like, we didn't see Mal or Rory.
Yeah, they left the show for like, what was it, like 3 weeks or something like that?
Yeah. And then we were getting Ice and some other dude. I only know Ice because I follow him on Twitter. But I don't think I would ever want to see him on a podcast.
I don't even know who those niggas is.
Yeah, like, and when I see them with Joe, I'm just like, they're not even... I don't even think Rory and Mal are really good looking. Like, I think Rory's cute, right? So when you're watching something, there is a certain amount of attraction you have to have to the person on the screen sometimes. And I don't feel any whatsoever to the new people he put on there. They were like, oh, he can, and he said he got them on Patreon or whatever. I'm sorry, I'm going way too deep in the rabbit hole too quick. But basically, Rory and Mal aren't on the show anymore. They got fired.
Joe Budden fired them.
And there's just been all these pointers around what happened that people are talking about. And it feels very, very high school mean girl shit.
It does.
Like, he has bullet points of, like, talking about Rory can't ever come back. Mal might be able to come back. Like,
you're right.
Cut it out. Like, this feels like high school.
Mal might be able to come back because we were actually friends.
Yeah, and Budden, like, this nigga 40 and, like, oh, I didn't know not to mix friendship and business. Like, that's, like, in business 101. You shouldn't do that shit. Unless it's, like, a sibling or family, they have to stick around.
Yeah,
so
but, you know, like I was saying the other day, he is known for fumbling the bag.
Yeah, and that's why I'm having trouble taking his taking his side.
In some of his recent fumbles, Slaughterhouse said he had a problem with Eminem.
You mean overall, collectively,
yes.
not even just recent?
Slaughterhouse, he had a problem with Eminem. The group fell apart. He didn't want any parts of it. Everyday Struggle, he had a problem with the way they was doing it. The whole show fell apart after he left. State of the Culture that he did with Revolt and Diddy. I don't know if the views weren't coming in or whatever, but that show got canceled. And then the only thing he had left was his podcast. And the podcast was doing very, very well with the team that he already established to us as Rory and Mal. Then you got Parks and, you know, whoever the fuck. They was also on the show, but you know what I'm saying? But like the two people who are on camera with them, he wasn't showing them the type of love that you're supposed to show. If you look at billboards for Joe Budden Podcast, it's a picture of Joe Budden. It's not a picture of Joe Budden and Rory Mal. And you watch the show to see their personalities bounce left and right. I guess he figures he could just do it without him. I don't think that's the wisest decision. And I think that he may have fumbled his bag again. We'll see what happens over the next couple months and how his views go and all that type of stuff. But there was a lot of stuff that I was hearing where he was saying that they aren't allowed to start a new podcast for a year due to their contract or something like that. Or else he will sue them. So I'm just like, this has just gotten really catty and really out of hand.
I completely agree with what you just said for sure. Because I think it might have some kind of impact on him. And I don't know if it's, I don't want to speak too prematurely, but I also do because I don't care. But I feel like it was going to have a negative impact.
Yeah, he's still got like some big things that he's working on and stuff. And he's had like some big interviews since they've been, you know, kind of to the side before he fired him. Like the whole Kevin Samuels interview.
The two dudes that are on there, like I said, I don't feel any attraction to them whatsoever. Like in terms of personality or looks. And like when they had Kevin Samuels on, I was very happy to see the guy who was like engaging with Kevin because Joe wasn't saying nothing because he can't say anything. He's a piece of anyway, so I just feel like it was a cool interview. It wasn't even really an interview to me. It was a monologue because they let Kevin talk, and it's like I don't feel like Joe felt like he was in a position, or honestly, like I feel like smart enough to speak on something like that. Because I mean, what can he say? I mean, all his relationships, everybody, all his exes don't fuck him. But anyways, I don't care. I don't care to show.
I don't care.
I'm putting it on the table. But
you come for the show or something?
But yeah,
what
just from like all the stuff that I've seen happen with him, I just don't like the new personalities. That was the only time I ever saw his show was to go see Kevin Samuels on there and to see the new people that were on there. And I really wasn't attracted to the personalities. And then I just wanted more of an interview more than a monologue too. And I felt like maybe Rory and Mal might have more to say than the two that were there. Cause like when the other, you know, the new guys were talking, Ice and I don't know whoever, I was just like looking at him and it's like, I don't know, like I just don't feel connected to them at all. I don't feel like I know enough about them for me to trust their opinion on something. Cause like you knew kind of Rory and Mal already had skin in the music industry or whatever. I don't know about if Mal does specifically, but I know Rory does and who he raps shorters with and stuff. And I don't know. I just don't feel like we built enough of a rapport with them, I guess. Maybe it's coming, but I don't know. I just feel like it's not going to be probably a good look.
I don't think it's going to be as good as what he had, but you know, I guess only time will tell.
Time will tell. But, yeah, I think the one thing I was telling JASHAR about too is that I find it weird that two of the people that were on a podcast of 3 had a problem with the one. And like the one is like firing off all this stuff about what he had an issue with. But if 2 of your podcast co-hosts like had questions about stuff you were doing, that's a little weird to me. Like I can see if it was just Rory or if it was just Mal, but both of them are like, we want to see the books.
Right.
We want to see. And then Joe was like, oh, Mal was the one who was like answering for business. Like, okay, they were answering for business, but who was signing the contracts? And who you know, with accounting, he was like, he doesn't want to see the accounting. He wants to do an audit. Absolutely, yeah.
Right.
Like obviously some people feel like they're being shorted here and he's like, I've been paying them handsomely and da 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 da. When you say handsomely, what does that mean in relativity to yourself?
Yeah. What does that mean in your head?
Yeah, exactly.
Because handsomely doesn't mean the same to everybody. It's
subjective, completely. And I mean, they're both sitting on the podcast. They see how big it's getting. You can't hide that from them.
They've done shows and like in front of actual massive crowds.
Yeah, like they're seeing this. So I mean, if they both have questions about it and you're not willing to talk about it either, and it's two of them, I don't feel like that makes him very much of a friend to not try to dig into that. Because he said they haven't said what's wrong, and I'm just like, those are your friends though. Like, why would? And you guys have this big podcast that you're making tons of money on. If they feel that strongly to be like stepping out and, you know, saying like, I got a problem with this, or I want to see this, or I want to talk about this, right, and you're publicly bashing them, like, you're not much of a friend. I wouldn't want to be on your podcast either. If you said you fired me and you don't even know if them two was like, we don't want to be on the show no more. Right. And he like, I fired him. Like, you don't know. Like, there's always one aside, like, there's the truth, Joe's truth, and Rory Mal's truth.
True.
So, I don't know. It just seems messy. Like I said, it seems like a Mean Girls type weird high school stuff is how I feel. When I was going through the bullets, I was just like, all right, like, bro, like, work this shit out. You're 40. You're 40. Having trouble with some friends on building a business or maintaining a business relationship. Like, that's your fault. Figure it out. I don't want to harp on him because I don't personally care for Joe Budden. I think he's a knowledgeable person, but I just think he's problematic for whatever reasons.
Problematic is a good word for it, I'd say.
But yeah.
I guess we just gonna have to see how it goes. And on that note, we're gonna have to wrap up the podcast. Thank you guys so much for joining us again. We're going to probably post something on social media about when this is dropping, which I guess isn't important for right now because you're watching it. Now that I think about it. But thank you so much for watching the show. Make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that bell so that you know when we drop something new. Whether it be me dropping beats, dropping music videos, dropping interviews, or dropping a new episode of the Avid Dreams Podcast. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you guys next week.